I'm Riley Conrad, and my cousin is Reagan Conrad. For the past week or so, I have watched the internet completely rip my cousin to shreds over something that is the furthest thing from her fault.
This is the cousin of Reagan Conrad, and she uploads a 10-minute long video on TikTok where she defends Reagan Conrad. She talks about how Brett Cooper is the evil one in this whole situation, but Brett is acting as if she's the victim. Let us see if we were wrong this whole time.
The past week or so, I have watched the internet completely rip my cousin to shreds over something that is the furthest thing from her fault. I've watched the one person who should have been in her corner and could have changed the narrative sit back and stay completely silent.
Okay, she's talking about Brett Cooper, who just stayed silent in all of the situation. And to be honest, it looks like she signed some kind of NDA and she just doesn't want to put herself into a legal trouble, and that is why she stayed silent.
I'm about to tell you exactly what happened. I'm Riley Conrad, and my cousin is Reagan Conrad.
Yeah, you're the cousin of Reagan Conrad. It's obvious, isn't it?
And I want to set the record straight because unfortunately, while Reagan and Brett were best friends, Brett has just sat back and watched this happen to Reagan. And in fact, she removed all of her posts Reagan on Instagram and eventually unfollowed her too, which obviously made the internet even more skeptical of Reagan. And it's just plain wrong because Reagan has done absolutely nothing but support Brett.
Okay, so according to Miss Cousin, Reagan Conrad supported Brett Cooper in all of this Daily Wire situation. And despite Reagan supporting Brett Cooper, Brett decides to unfollow Reagan and some other people from the Daily Wire. Therefore, Brett Cooper is the evil one. If she is unfollowing a few people from the Daily Wire, this might indicate that there was something wrong in between these two people. She hasn't unfollowed Ben Shapiro. This indicates that there was nothing wrong in between them. So she specifically decides to unfollow Reagan, and that is just because she wants to put her down. Let's see.
Here's what really happened.
Okay.
Brett chooses to leave over reasons that legally I don't believe I am allowed to say, so I'm not going to touch on them. And honestly, that's Brett's story. Moral of the story, Brett decided to leave. 100% Brett's decision. And Brett said that herself, although people aren't believing Brett.
Yeah, nobody's believing that Brett Cooper left the job herself. Many people say that she was forced out of this job. She wasn't directly fired, but the comment section didn't agree on many things that Brett agreed on, or maybe they forced her to say something. Many different wild theories are coming out, but the moral is that she had to take the decision to leave, which sounds like she was forced to leave and not really she wanted to leave. Brett Cooper did say in her video that yes, she's deciding to live by herself.
So here's where Reagan's part comes in.
Okay.
Reagan was the producer of the comments section. Like I said, they were best friends. So whenever Brett decides to leave, Brett recommends to the Daily Wire that Reagan step in and be the substitute host for a period of time.
Okay, so according to Miss Cousin, Brett Cooper chose Reagan Conrad to replace her when Brett decides to leave the comment section. But there's a problem with this thing. Why is Reagan acting like Brett Cooper? Why is she imitating Brett Cooper? Why does it look like she took acting classes and she's just doing a really good job at imitating Brett Cooper rather than being Reagan Conrad? That is why it doesn't really look like Brett Cooper wanted her to be replaced.
So Reagan, with her friend's blessing, decides that she is going to do this, and she loved it. Reagan has always loved the Daily Wire.
She does.
How much Reagan loves to do research on Republican media. She
Sounds fair.
loves all things Republican news.
If she's saying that Reagan was always passionate about this thing, why did she join just before Brett Cooper leaves? She was the producer of the show. But the way all of this happened, the way Brett Cooper got replaced was really, really fishy.
So she's the substitute host while they're doing this search, and they decided they didn't let any of the other host options. They wanted Reagan. So the Daily Wire reaches out and offers the position to Reagan. Now Reagan is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Okay, so according to Miss Cousin, while Brett decided to leave the comment section, they took Reagan as a substitute host and they were looking for other hosts. But if that was the case, why was Reagan acting like Brett Cooper? Why was she imitating Brett Cooper? If they were already looking for other substitute hosts, why was Reagan not being herself? As if she was gonna take over the Brett Cooper's position from day one.
Brett told Reagan that she wants Reagan to come with her to leave the Daily Wire, and she told her that she could be her producer. However, that being said, it would be months before Brett knew of what she wanted Reagan to exactly be doing. It would be months until Reagan got paid by Brett.
That makes sense.
And Reagan would not be getting as much pay from Brett, that's for sure. The Daily Wire is able to pay her a great sum of money. Reagan would be taking a significant pay cut. Everybody's accusing her of having acting classes. I can tell you, that is how Reagan's always been. That's how she's always spoken. Yes, maybe they have some of the same mannerisms. They've been best friends. Who of you has a best friend and doesn't start kind of talking like...
No, my best friend is completely opposite to me. They're best friends, not twins. The imitation thing of Reagan was really, really good. She was exactly acting like Brett Cooper. And this was super obvious to everyone except the Miss Cousin.
acting classes, rumor, it's just that. It's a rumor. Reagan has never had acting classes. She literally just does speak.
Okay.
That's how she is. Thanksgiving comes around and Reagan was dealing with this, do I take it, do I not? She wanted to take it so badly. But you should have seen us in the basement of my grandparents' house. Her being an emotional wreck, not wanting to upset Brett. That was her only concern. And I said, take away Brett's feelings. What would you do? She said, I would take it. I would love to take it. But if you include Brett's feelings, she didn't want to hurt her friend. That being said, her friend decided to step away. It's different if Reagan shoved her out. It's different if the Daily Wire forced her away. But she didn't. Brett chose to leave, and there was this open position that was then presented to Reagan as, do you want this? After multiple weeks of searching for somebody else.
All of this really sounds fishy because the way Brett Cooper left the comment section was really wild. So Reagan comes in as a substitute host, and then after a few days, Brett Cooper announces that she's leaving the Daily Wire and Reagan takes over. And Reagan is now, imitating the mannerisms of Brett Cooper really well. And she's doing this from day one. If they were looking for a substitute, why was she imitating like that? It really looked like Reagan was the final one, the replacement of Brett Cooper.
And I said to Reagan, if Brett is a true friend, she will still be in your corner. If she is not, and she was never a true friend to begin with. I can understand Brett being hurt. I can understand Brett wanting Reagan to follow in a way, but Reagan is her own person and she is meant for this role. You can't force people to do what you want them to do, and then if they don't do it, stop being their friend. So I was hoping in good faith from what I had seen of Brett, that Brett would make the right decision and still support Reagan. Well, here's what happened. So obviously Brett puts out that video about stepping away from the Daily Wire and Reagan's gonna be a great host, blah, blah, blah. Then Brett decides to remove all of the posts on her social media. And I was like, that's low, but okay, maybe she's just trying to support Reagan. Maybe she's trying to not let her be in the limelight and not let people find her social media so that she doesn't get hated on. I don't know. Well, then Brett completely unfollows Reagan off of Instagram. Messed up, you ask me, because Reagan always was supporting Brett. Reagan loved Brett, still loves Brett. To be honest with you, the way that she still is so forgiving of this girl is really incredible, because I would have said, screw you, after all things that Brett has now done.
Okay, seems to have that Brett Cooper had some grudges against Reagan Conrad. And that is why she unfollowed her, removed all of her posts from social media. And now she just hates her best friend who was really supportive before. Yeah, maybe the story makes a little sense, but man, you could have told a better story.
And Reagan took the position that Brett would do the same. Well, instead, since Reagan did not come along with Brett and leave the Daily Wire for Brett has completely turned on her and allowed the hate to happen, even though Reagan was offered the position fairly and Brett chose to step away. She's allowed the hate to spew and has not come forward and tried to clear Reagan's name, even slightly.
So let's look at the comment section, people. This chick doesn't seem to realize that her running mouth is the last thing her cousin needs right now. Brett hasn't said anything. Duh, it's called NDA. I mean, yeah, I was saying the same thing. Maybe Brett just want to stay away from all of this altogether for not getting into a legal trouble. So she's confirming she chose money over her friend. And no, if Brett decided to leave, there would have been more passing of the torch between the two. They would have had a video together and everything. Ditched her friend, took the money, and ignored how she TTW treated her friend. So let me get this straight. Reagan takes over the comment section knowing that it would hurt Brett, and yet they expect Brett to defend Reagan. What it sounds like me to Brett is Brett feels betrayed by Reagan. And honestly, you can make an argument that she was betrayed because Reagan took the job with knowing it would hurt Brett. You don't unfriend, unfollow, and take down posts of someone you wanted to take your place after choosing to leave on your own free will. Make it make sense. That is exactly what I'm saying. I mean, the cousin could have told a better story and we might have believed it, but this story is not good. I mean, ChatGPT will give a better story than her. Let me know what you guys think about this situation and subscribe to my channel for more spicy, juicy stuff.